My dear Islamic brothers, I come to you and speak to you as a new Muslim. In fact, I've been a Muslim now 8 years. But I just want to trace my life a little bit further back to how I became Muslim. I was born in the south of England. I lived with my parents and my grandmother, and my main aim in life at that time was to be a teacher, a music teacher in a secondary school. And so my emphasis on music led me to study music seriously at one of the London music colleges. I was there for many years as a secondary school pupil from about 1956 until 1962, when I became a full-time student of music and also worked as a church musician in one of the churches there. After a few years living and working in Scotland, where my parents originally came from, I was able to contact my extended family of cousins and aunts and uncles who all lived in Scotland. I was born in England, but my parents were from Scotland. And so from 1968 until 1974, I was living and working in Scotland. In 1978, I was asked to go and work in the African continent of Tanzania. I'd always wanted to work in Africa since about the age of 4. It attracted me many times because I met an African person actually in my own hometown for the first time when I was about age 4, and so that was deeply embedded in my heart to work with the African people. And so in 1978 I flew out from London to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. And I started work and study at the seminary there in Dar es Salaam for 3 years. In 1983, I was ordained a priest in Zimbabwe. I was asked by the bishop in Zimbabwe to go and work there in one of the townships in Matabeleland. And so in 1983, I was ordained priest. And then after a number of years, I returned to the United Kingdom, where I served as a priest in many parishes, and the last one being in Accrington, just outside of Manchester, where I've been for 12 years, since 1998. After many years in Accrington, I came nearly to the time of retirement, but unfortunately I became sick, and I had to not work for a number of months. In fact, it was about a year. And during that time, when I was off sick, unable to work, that was a time which hurt me most. I was suffering from depression at that time, and the local community whom I served then suddenly decided not to come and visit me at all. I was left on my own in the church house, and the only people that came to visit me were the local Muslim community. And one day I said to one of my friends, look, when I retire as a priest, I will become a Muslim. And that day I realized that I could never look back. And I didn't look back. And suddenly, in a few months, I was taken by my friends to the local mosque where I made the Shahada and became a Muslim on the 15th of June 2008. The next day, on the 16th of June, I was taken to Fazani Medina in Accrington, and there I was introduced to the brothers of Dawat Islami, and I was then made a murid of Amir Sunnat. This was a beautiful time for me, and ever since I've been in the Dawat Islami, since that day of the 16th of June 2008, I have thanked Allah Azza wa Jal for bringing me to Islam.